One, a two, a three, four, ready, go. Hey,
Oh.
everybody, welcome back to the podcast. It's time to party because we're talking about the Clone Wars. 4 episodes today, yeah.
Nice. Keep that in. A little sad today. We have no special guest.
I know. But hey, it's still it's all to at least to me, you know, I still treasure the time that you and I get to spend together to talk about the great universe of Star Wars. I know you don't feel that way, but it's special to me at least. So yeah, today we are talking about four episodes of season 4 of the Clone Wars. We have, I believe, episodes 11, 12, 13, and 14. Yes.
Whew, how many in a season?
22?
Man, it's gonna be so weird when we're out of Clone Wars territory and onto other Star Wars stuff because we have been doing Clone Wars for so long now, it feels.
Yep. It feels like it is like the only thing going that exists in Star Wars. Yeah. But it continues to be quite good, I think.
Yeah.
I enjoyed all 4 of these episodes a lot. There's a 3-part arc, the Zygerian arc, I guess, and then a one-off episode about Lux, Bonteri, and Ahsoka. That is actually not too much of a one-off. We don't pick up from it right away in like the next episode or anything, but we do eventually get back to this storyline here.
Okay, I figured, yeah. And plus, like, I assume at some point we're going to get a little more of the story behind the Darksaber, or is that just going to be like a mystery that stays with us to the end?
Hey, we definitely learn more about the Darksaber. Yeah.
Okay, all right,
We
that's
do.
good to know. Every time I see it pop out and they're like, they don't talk about it, which is cool. I do like that actually, but I'm like, man, I'm so fascinated by that. Like, what
It
is
looks
going on?
so fucking cool.
Yeah.
When it's like swinging around and you have the little afterglow of like black arc like
Yeah.
going around, it's just awesome.
It also release is very cool from its hold. Like, it just looks awesome.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think is it Pre Vizsla? I think he's a pretty good villain.
I think Death Watch as a whole is like a good antagonistic group. Like I find them like they kind of make me angry, but like in a way where I'm like, that's a good villain. Like I want to keep watching.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, we let's talk about the first 3 ones first. This is
So strict.
Yeah, do not bring up that 4th episode yet, dude, because we have to go in order.
Okay.
So here some Togrutas get captured by, I guess, Count Dooku and some Zygerian slave traders. The Zygerians, this is a new species we're being introduced to. They
Zygerian scum.
Yeah, Anakin does not like them. So apparently, you know, in the days before the Jedi, they had a huge empire slave trade network, and they were very wealthy until the Jedi came in and busted up their operation. But they're trying to rebuild it. I don't know. They still seem pretty wealthy to me, but yeah, it seems like they still had like a pretty solid. Excuse me, can I finish?
Please go ahead. Sorry, I'm just trying to get a word in between, because otherwise you'll go on and on and on. So when there's a little pause, I gotta get a word in. Otherwise, I'll never say anything.
Yeah. Well, I'll just finish my thought real quick, and then you can have an opportunity to talk.
Sure, go ahead.
I was just saying, it seems like they have a pretty big.
Huh?
Just go.
I did
Um,
that to be silly, but it did cut off your true thoughts. So that is wrong of me. I apologize. I recant myself. Go ahead.
I mean, I barely had anything else to say, so if you had just waited like a half second, we would have avoided this whole thing. But uh, I was just gonna say, it seems like they still have a lot of money and an infrastructure set up of like a whole kingdom and everything. So I don't know how much the Jedi ruined their stuff going on, but I don't know. It seemed like maybe they were into like exotic pet trading or something.
Oh
Now
yeah,
that um uh lower your hand.
I just permission to go on.
Yeah.
I actually think you would have been happy with what me cutting you off there because I would have saved you a little bit of ignorance of what you just said. Because I was going to say I think we're looking at it though from a very like earthly and one world perspective. Who knows the span of their galactic empire at what it once was? You looked at one planet and you're like, they're doing pretty good, dude. Maybe they had like 16 planets that they were controlling, ruling, and they're in shambles now, and you're like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, well, uh I guess you're right. When I see like a big arena with all these people chanting and their queen like being like, "Oh, well, we force people to whatever." But you know what? You're right. You're right. Uh and I guess we don't know exactly how much this has been like building back up again in the background, and this is just when the Jedi have now heard about it because Count Dooku's involved. But
Yeah, it is kind of interesting though, because they definitely like they have slaves still, so it's not like they were completely, you know, they abolished all slavery. The Jedi did. I guess they some still fell through the cracks, or like you said, maybe it's just building up again.
yeah. Um so these episodes I feel like they don't necessarily advance the overall plot of the Clone Wars as a whole very much, or really even have like a ton of character development for anybody. Unless you disagree, I'm open to
Um,
that.
a
But
little bit with
I
Anakin.
yeah, that's true. I do just think that they are super entertaining, exciting action and high stakes and mature themes that they're touching on, and interesting um interesting little philosophical things that they're not like diving too deep into, but they bring it up.
Yeah,
What does it really mean to be a slave? Obviously, you know there's a difference between being whipped and beaten in the mines and being sitting on the Jedi council, but they do bring up the thing of like, well, you still are just a unwilling servant to your government's ideals, and they plop you around wherever they want, and blah blah blah. So, anyway,
yeah.
what were you gonna say?
No, what? I wasn't gonna say anything. What? You're just expecting I was gonna say something?
Oh, sorry, I thought you were saying something, but
When? You were just talking for the past 5 minutes, dude. Jackson's like, he doesn't want to deal with me today. He's not. He's like, man, I'm glad this dude's on the other side of the country.
or else,
Oh, I kind of felt
the
that too.
SWU card haymaker.
Yeah, you're gonna do that to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, like, the Soldier Boy song "Kiss Me Through the Phone."
Yes, yeah.
Kind of do that instead.
Punch you through the phone. Punch you through the riverside stream.
Yeah,
That's my ringtone.
yeah.
No, it's just "Kiss Me Through the Phone" was a popular ringtone.
Oh, was it like when there were the flip phones and you could pick from like six pre-recorded ones?
Yeah, and you there was a time where you could buy a ringtone version of a song on iTunes as well as other websites, but like it would be like a 1 minute clip of the song that you
Ooh,
could buy as a ringtone and put on your phone. And ringtone rap was a bit of an era for a while there.
man, I should get Duel of Fates as my ringtone. Be pretty
Oh, that
sick.
would be sick. Yeah. Well, what are you were saying about you do think for Anakin a little bit it is character development?
Oh, that's what you meant. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was saying
Yeah.
something, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
um, no, I just think it was like I felt very much in Anakin's shoes, like the entire episode, with feeling like a strong distaste for the slavery and like the people there. Um, and like I understood his anger, and I feel like he was showing a lot more anger than he normally does, even in like situations where he is like pissed off at folks. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
moments in this episode where like his face, the animation kind of looks wonky in my opinion, but his face like contorts so much because they're like trying to show that he's enraged at the
Yeah.
thought of like him getting away, or like just the slavers in general being a part of this mission. Um, and I don't know. I also thought it was super interesting that like Obi-Wan and Ahsoka's relationship is developing in a way where Obi-Wan was like, "Hey, can you keep an eye on Anakin throughout this? Like, sort of
Yeah.
like you're the responsible one now."
Yeah, that's true. That is definitely. I mean, he may have always kind of said something like that in a jokey way of like, "Oh, make sure to keep Anakin in check," but I
True.
think but no, I'm not disagreeing with you at all because I think this is probably the first time we've seen it where it's like it's actually pretty serious. It's like, hey, you better make sure he doesn't just start killing everybody.
Honestly, I'm surprised he like did not do worse in this episode, but I guess like they can only go so far with it because otherwise he becomes like Darth Vader basically.
Yeah, but I mean, he's already had moments of like killing all these Tusken Raiders and stuff, and maybe if they said like they said it had all this stuff of like, oh well, we'll free your friends if you agree to like stay by my side forever or whatever. If it had been like the other way around where like he's going to rescue Ahsoka, but then he gets there and they killed her like right before he rescued her, he probably would go crazy and kill everybody.
Yeah. Well, you know what's interesting about that part where she like makes that deal to him where hey, like I'll if you stay by my side and like loyally serve me, I'll free Ahsoka and Obi-Wan who are in slavery right now, and Rex, I suppose. Although I don't know if he was part of the deal, but whatever.
Yeah,
She,
Anakin's like he's kind of already a slave. I'm okay with that kind of
yeah,
slavery.
true. I mean, you're right though. He is a slave to them. So,
Hmm.
actually, it's surprising. I'm getting separated my train of thought, but it's surprising I didn't focus more on like Rex's perspective a little bit in these episodes,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Like, you're right. There's so much interesting like material there of like seeing, hey, what is it like? They're being whipped, so but we'll get court-martialed and executed if we don't do what they say. So, is there like
Hmm.
a huge material difference? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wasn't necessarily thinking about it during the episode, but I guess they didn't want to get that nuanced with it.
Yeah, but what I was saying is, if I was Anakin, I feel like we've seen him multiple times be like, "Yeah, I'll do this," and then not stick to his word because he's like being, because he's on the side of like the Jedi or Ahsoka or Padme or something. Like, why can he not just be like, "Yeah, totally. If you let them go, I will absolutely loyally serve you." And then the second they're like free and in safety, like mess her up.
Yeah, for real. And she has a whole thing of like, yes, the word of a Jedi is something, and it's like, well, if you knew Anakin, his word is not so good. He does
Yeah,
lie a lot.
it was like I don't know. I'm trying to think who would be a very like if it was Obi Wan, even he would probably stick to his word. I was
Yeah,
thinking, would Windu? Would Mace Windu? I don't know. I don't
I
think he
feel
would.
like Mace Windu would freaking decapitate her the second he got the chance.
Yeah,
And he's kind of like one of those guys that like the clones would rush into the room and he would just point at her weapon and be like, "Well, she was attacking me. She was attacking me."
yeah.
Um,
I wonder what missions they send them on specifically. I hope we see more Mace Windu oriented missions in the future.
yeah, we definitely do at least a little bit. Um,
I want to see him in action again.
yeah, we haven't seen him in a while. We saw him with those initial Cad Bane. There were, him and Obi-Wan and Cad Bane were going around
Mhm.
together for a second, but I think that's the last time we really saw him do anything. Um, so yeah, these are kind of intense though. Like I feel like when they show up on the on their final location, which I guess is what uh Kadavo. Um, they the guy, um Argus or Agris, the warden of the facility, like immediately drops like 12 to Grudens out of the bottom of the floor just to like prove a point that he's willing to kill people if you disobey him or whatever, to scare Obi-Wan into like not doing anything rash or whatever. That was
Yeah,
like pretty brutal.
truly. I feel like this episode just felt like claustrophobic to a degree because like they're in such a trapped scenario and it felt very hopeless and sad like all throughout the 3 episodes, even towards the end, like as they're solving the day and like we're supposed to get that catharsis, it still kind of felt icky. Like I was like, man, this has been such a dark art. I guess it's just like the slavery aspect of it, like knowing Anakin's past tied into it. But something about these episodes activated my bloodlust, dude, because I was like, I need the Jedi to be actually functional and like killing all these guys right now, which some do that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with you. It's so nasty, and it's not really even like too over the top to be believable or anything. Like, yeah, obviously they're like pretty villainous and whatever, but like I don't know. I mean, what are we gonna say that like slave traders in real life are like? Well, they're a little more nuanced. They're not like so evil. Like,
I
no,
also
no,
think
they
like,
they they probably are.
yeah, and these guys were evil for sure, but they were evil, and in my opinion, they were like pretty intelligent about the way they planned things out and made their moves against the Jedi. To the point you were talking about earlier, like even being like, "Hey, Obi-Wan, just so you know, if you don't acquiesce to what we want you to do, we're not going to punish you. We're going to punish all these people." Like that's such
Yeah.
a sick and twisted way to like using like it's not family, I guess, but in the sense of the Force and they're all connected and Obi-Wan cares about those people, like using that as leverage to manipulate is so evil. It's like so evil, but it's also that's how Obi-Wan was going to do nothing. I don't know what his plan was there if like Anakin couldn't get him out of that situation.
Yeah, they seem to like break him a little bit. I mean, they were showing him like in the opening narration of the, pretty sure it was the third episode. They're like, even Obi-Wan Kenobi has to learn what life is like in slavery. um, and and that was like you said, like by the midpoint of that episode, he was all like broken and cowering and like, oh no, I don't want to cause any trouble because I'm gonna get people hurt.
Yeah,
Like it worked.
dude, he takes maybe it's just like we saw him get such a beating in these episodes too, more so than any
Hmm.
other episode or even like arc. I think like he in the first
Yeah.
episode he gets just annihilated by that I forget what the guy's name is, but for a while like the leader on that planet just like fisticuffs him for it seemed like half an hour.
Yeah. And he's kind of just letting it happen because he's trying to just like buy time for Anakin
Yeah.
and Ahsoka to defuse all these bombs. But like, uh, totally. I mean, he gets rocked, and I think like a little animation detail that went a long way into like communicating that was that his hair actually like changed and got messed
Mhm.
up because sometimes you think of these Clone Wars character models as a little stiff and plasticky, and like their hair isn't gonna like move very much or
Yeah,
whatever. But I
no
think
hair
that went a
trigger.
long way into being like, no, he's getting rocked.
I agree. Like he just like those shots of him like looking up on the ground with the hair like sort of flopping in his face. Just like again, they made me so sad.
Yeah.
I
I
did not like seeing Obi-Wan get like beat like that. And then I didn't like seeing him get electrocuted like over and over again. Just like no, no, Jackson, why subject me to these episodes? We couldn't have skipped these ones.
look, man, you it's not all fun and games like the Pon Krell episodes that were fun and not sad. Sometimes
Sorry, I don't care
sometimes
about
there's
clones.
the harsh realities of war.
Yeah,
They
gosh,
didn't
I get.
no, go ahead.
No, I just think it was also the little Palpatine like call out there was interesting too, where he's like, yeah, well, this is like how we need to build the empire, like off the backs of all these slaves. We're gonna need like a million
Mhm.
slaves, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I I it's very exciting to me when like Palpatine shows up in his Sith mode. I'm like, okay, this is serious. It's kind of like the Watcher showing up for something.
The Duker, the Count Dooku was also great in all these episodes, and I think he was in every single one of these.
Yeah, yeah. And you were saying about they're doing a lot with Anakin's facial animation, and I agree. Sometimes it looked a little wonky, but I do just think in general they are trying to make the faces and the little small movements of people to be more alive and less stiff than they have been, and I think they're kind of gradually improving. Because I noticed like the second Count Dooku walks off the ship with the Zygerian guy and the droid, he's kind of like moving his head, and like while he's talking his head is like bobbling around and stuff. I was like, oh wow, this is like, for lack of a better term, the most animated I've seen him be when he's like talking. And I don't know, little things like that are starting to like really up it. The action is really good in these ones too, like the initial thing where they're on those little speeders with the sidecars in them that can
Oh
like
yeah,
rotate around 180 degrees. Like that was a really fun action sequence, jumping between little speeders. And then like Ahsoka and Anakin going to defuse all the bombs, and they had the destroyer droids like put the sniper shields down. Like that was really cool. And they're like,
yeah.
we gotta deflect them at the angle. Like just good little action beats.
The Zygerian leader escaping too, and like Ahsoka and Anakin. I love this moment too because like you
Oh
can tell
yeah.
Anakin is so angry with this. He's not gonna let the guy get away. Like he's truly marching forward with like no real plan, as like we quickly learn. Because the second they get on that ship and it's like starting to get up in the air and getting close to getting in orbit, just that whole sequence is so good to me. And it was like my palms are getting sweaty, like as they're like sliding around on the ship and like being like, well, we don't know what to do right now. And then just them getting trapped in like the confined space with the whatever alien creature that was, I also thought was like such a phenomenal, like high stakes moment of like everything is happening wrong right now. And it was just awesome. It was really like compelling action sequence, I thought.
Yeah, totally agree. I think you made me think of how we talked about in recent episodes about like how many times the bad guys will get on their ships and fly away and they just kind of watch them go. Like I'm not saying that this necessarily justifies all those times, but I do think it was cool that this time he is so pissed and like it's this one's personal to him, that he's like, well, no, I'm not just letting him go. I'm literally gonna like without even thinking about it jump onto the moving ship and like, Ahsoka, you're coming too. Like I
Yeah,
don't even care. And then yeah, and like they're on the front of the ship when it's like little hangar bay is gonna open up, and she's like, "What's the plan, Master?" It's pretty solid.
there's a really funny moment in there too when like Anakin is dealing with the tentacles of the monster, and I guess it's got like a shell component to the back, and Ahsoka's like trying
Mm-hmm.
to stab into that, and it's just making the thing go crazy. And Anakin's like, "Okay, Ahsoka, go deal with the other guy, the guy like driving the ship, because you're making this harder, actually."
Yeah,
Like, dude,
yeah.
she's following you into the gates of hell. Like, come on.
I know. She's just trying to help, man.
Her model, I think, also they've been like tweaking it every episode because it looks like smoother and crisper and a little different each time we watch
Mm-hmm.
an episode.
Man, it just the animation keeps getting better and better. It's really nice.
It's me with my dual lightsabers, Ahsoka style.
God, she looks sick with those her stances.
There's a one man. Is it in the last episode? Maybe she has like an amazing. But when she gets her lightsabers back, maybe that wasn't the last episode, where she like
Hmm.
decapitates the dudes behind her as she gets
Yeah,
it. I was like,
she
whoa!
decapitates 4 dudes in a circle all at once.
The Jedi are funny. They're like, uh, I feel like they are like mortal elitist in a sense because sometimes they're so against killing folks who are like, like, oh, that's like kind of someone higher up in the government, or like they're not in a low hierarchy position, but whatever it's grunts or just like regular soldiers, like Anakin sliced through a couple people in some of these episodes too with no thought. He just like entered one of their vehicles or whatever and just sliced them all up.
Yeah, yeah. I I mean, you're totally right. Like it's if the people have like some kind of information that they need or something, they'll be like, "Wait, don't kill him." But if they're just a regular person in their way, you're done.
Yeah.
But maybe Ahsoka's learned a little bit of that from Anakin.
I mean,
Uh,
I think it's like what they should be doing. I just think there's a lot of instances where they should probably kill like the high up official too. You know?
yeah, yeah. Hey, I mean, Tarkin would agree with you.
I know. Look, I got a little bit of dark side in me, man. So, I,
I,
it,
I,
we're graced by God that I wasn't given Force abilities because I would wreak havoc on this planet.
God damn. I guess I count my lucky stars.
Hmm.
Um,
You'd be my pet.
I will never be a slave to you. Um,
I'll never be a slave to you. Trying to do it like how Anakin would actually in the movies.
I know, man. I know we've talked about this to death at this point, but I am at the point where I will hear him say a line in the Clone Wars and then try to like replay it immediately in my brain with Hayden Christensen's voice and be like, that would have been so much better.
Have we touched? Maybe you've told me this before, but is there a reason they like did not try? Because they found someone to emulate Obi-Wan's voice very well, I think,
Yeah.
but they didn't really try with Christian.
Yeah, I guess not. I don't know. I mean, I will say when the Clone Wars was coming out, I don't actually know if this has anything to do with it. This is just a bit of a hypothesis. Uh, until recently, the last 7 years or so, people pretty much just exclusively were hating on Hayden Christensen and the prequels, and his performance in those movies was like almost universally considered just straight up bad, and people made fun of his voice and people made fun of you know his acting in general. um
That's crazy. I don't think it's bad. I really don't.
no, I agree. I think it's actually quite good. Every
Yeah,
now and then they have a very silly line for him to say, but uh, I think he's doing exactly what you should be doing in this kind of thing. But people really didn't like it at the time. So maybe that's why they were like, well, let's go in a different direction. Dude, how about that Twi'lek just straight up jumping off the side of the building? Crazy.
I thought Anakin was gonna do what he'd done before and like catch her with his the force. I mean, maybe he was going to, but he was sort of stuck between like, oh, do I break my ruse here or do I save his life? And it was probably too late before he even started to think that through.
Honestly, I think hard to say what was intentional, but to me, that was exactly what I was reading in his actions and facial expressions and the camera of all of it. I got a little bit of like, oh, I should save her. Wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't. And then, like, before
Yeah.
he could make up his mind, it was too late.
He does kind of slightly like reach his hand out too, and I wasn't sure if it was for like force stuff or just like the instinct, like oh my god, someone's falling, like let me help.
Yeah. But pretty cool.
Yeah, again, a very dark moment to this episode. There's like
Hmm.
no moments of reprieve throughout this entire thing. Is R2D2 in these ones at all, or is he just in the next one?
Yes. No, he is, because if you remember, they have a uh a Return of the Jedi moment when she sends Anakin down to go like whip Obi-Wan in front of everybody.
Oh yeah,
Uh, and R2 shoots all their lightsabers out for them.
yeah.
They have the little bump, bump, bump. Oh man, that was a cool sequence too. Rex like exploding stuff up in the stands or running away from people and everything.
Yeah, although Ahsoka was a little silly in that sequence. I guess maybe she didn't know what they put around her neck, but I was like, you are like trying to hold the queen hostage as you have like the shock collar she put on you around your neck, and like she has the control. But maybe
Mm-hmm.
they hadn't like used it yet, or she just didn't know. I guess I could buy that, but I was like, Ahsoka, come on.
I feel like the second you get your lightsabers, you cut that thing off.
True, yeah. Gosh, I wonder if any Jedi's ever tried to do that. They got a little too close to their neck.
Ah, um, yeah, but it was making me think like, how hollow is R2D2? Because it never struck me as weird that he could have one lightsaber up inside of him like that, but he had four, and uh, they all kind of kept just coming out of the same spot. I'm like, how? I thought maybe you had a bunch of like circuitry and stuff like that in you, but
It'd be pretty cool if he kind of had like amorphous internals where they kind of like are just constantly shifting and moving. So if he needs to make room for lightsabers or something, like all that digitry will move to one side. But I don't think that's the case. I think we've seen him open before, and it's just like normal circuitry. Jackson's texting.
yeah. No, no, I'm not. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry. I did have to respond to that real quick, but I was still listening to you.
You had to.
That we think we've. Well, it was just a little bit of a time sensitive thing about managing parking spots and in our driveway and stuff. So yes, I had to.
Okay.
Um,
Don't feel
but
like you need to
yeah,
explain yourself to me, by the way.
you asked. Um, I can't remember like how much of his interiors we've seen before. Oh,
He was open for sure at one
actually,
point.
you remember the early episode where R2 gets kidnapped by that uh 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 oh god, why am I blanking on the to Trandoshan, the fat Trandoshan that like General Grievous hires, and it's with Goldie, the black and gold astromech droid that's evil.
Oh yes, yeah, I do remember that.
That guy's like doing a dissection on R2 for a second there. So,
Yeah, see, I knew we saw him cut open. We've seen C-3PO also missing his skin, basically.
yep. Um, or what else in these ones? What do you? I mean, we've already talked about it a little bit, but what do you think about the Queen? Queen Sintel,
Hater.
Mirage Sintel.
The moment Anakin uh like woke up and tried to force choke her after that like arena incident, I was cheering, dude. I was like, oh please snap her neck right here, end her right now. And honestly, I think she was kind of bluffing. Like, I don't think anything would have happened to Obi-Wan and Ahsoka that didn't happen to them if he had killed her right then.
Yeah, it's possible, but that's a tough bluff to call.
Yeah, true. And I guess like a Jedi probably shouldn't like be committing regicide on a planet, then like create a big political chasm. I guess that prime minister guy would become the new leader. He'd probably have a take force or something. I don't know. I guess
Yeah,
there
I
was
mean
no
that
like
was
party
Dooku's
that you could,
plan, right?
yeah, there's no party you could put in power that like was anti-slavery on the planet. So
Didn't seem like it. Did not seem like it. Um,
I thought them flirting was kind of funny. Like Anakin's forced flirting that he was doing with her
Mm,
in
mm-hmm.
like a silly, goofy way. Like Ahsoka, I think was like rolling her eyes at that, and it was very much like this is such like typical, like I guess super traditional style flattery, and she was just eating it up. So that's kind of fun, I
Yeah.
guess. A little bit of levity there. Maybe I was wrong earlier. There's that moment in between all the slavery and death.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but so still not necessarily levity, but exciting. When Plo Koon and the Wolf Watch come in to save everybody at the end.
Yeah,
Um, really awesome battle sequence of Plo Koon and the clones like surrounding that tower, and the tower has little turret cannons as well as the Zygerian Star Hoppers, um, the little ships. Just a nice little air battle, but not in space. Like that's always fun to see.
yeah,
Um, and there was this one part, especially that's one shot, especially it stuck out to me. There's like a turret that hits directly into the cockpit of one of the gunships and like headshots the pilot, the clone pilot, and the ship like turns and crashes down. I was like,
yeah.
damn.
Dude, those space battles and like air battles in Clone Wars have gotten so good. Like I've we don't see a bad one now. Like every single one is just like kind of awesome
Yep.
at its lowest. And there was such a cool moment in that one too, where like they kill the engines to get behind the guys for a second, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just the shots looked so like cinematic and cool. Like, I know I've said it over and over again, but my mind will be like, oh, I'm watching it in live action, like for a moment, and then it'll like flip back to animation when we go to people.
Yeah, yeah. When you, I mean, yeah, I know I've said this before too, but when we don't see people, it can look just straight up real.
Also,
Like,
man, Plo Koon looks so menacing like in his ship. Like he's a scary looking dude.
mm-hmm. I mean that's what I like about the Jedi too. Like, obviously Anakin can be scary; he gets pissed off and everything. But the Jedi that are, like true idealist Jedi or whatever, or like Obi-Wan or Plo Koon or Yoda, like they don't necessarily get angry in the traditional way, but they do still have like these little flips that switch where they're like, hey, I'm trying to be peaceful. I'm trying to like keep everything under control without violence. But then when it becomes clear that like that's not going to work, and it's like particularly evil people or whatever, they just
Yeah,
get into this like mode of like I'm not fucking around anymore.
yeah, it's awesome.
It is. I do like electrifying that holding cell that the Togrudans were in, and the floor is like opening up out from under them and they got to fly underneath. And then even then, like you said, like it's still layered with stress and yuckiness when they are saving them, because even after it's like, okay, we're all good, we got the cables up, everybody's escaping onto the ship, some of them are still like falling and screaming, and then Ahsoka has to like jump down and catch one. Some jetpack clones have to catch a couple of them, and then she's talking with the Togrudan leader at the end, and he's like, yeah, well, it's gonna take our people a long time to recover from this. I mean, this was super traumatic and like
Yeah,
really bad.
dude, that's what I'm saying. Like the catharsis of the episode was basically that moment. It was like, hey, look, at the end of the day, and Ahsoka's perspective was like, hey, your people will be stronger because of this. And then I'm like, yeah, I guess like shared
Yeah, that
trauma
was
can
weird.
make a group like closer, but I don't know if stronger is necessarily like the right word to use there. Like truly, probably set them all back, and like they all have to deal with this trauma now. It's nice that they can share it, I suppose. So like, there's going to be no cultural divide of like dealing with all that. But still, it's like that was a terrible thing for their planet. And also, I guess they took everyone on the planet. It must be a really small planet.
Yeah, I mean, I, that when he had like Yularen doing the bioscan or whatever, he was like, well, I'm not picking up anyone. Well, there's no one in the city? No, there's no one on the whole planet.
Yeah. What?
Wow. Okay.
God, like how many billions of people is it? Or again, is
I
it like
guess we
a moon-sized planet or something?
Yeah, maybe it was just a smaller like offshoot, but I guess we also didn't necessarily see how much time passed when between when like Dooku landed there and the Jedi showed up and they had their whole thing established. I guess
Yeah,
that could have been months potentially.
here I thought he was going to be like, no, we know it wasn't actually. Well, maybe. I don't know. I guess it's hard to say. We know Yoda was like, I can't send reinforcements
Oh
because I'm
yeah.
already
Yeah.
there. So it had to be within close proximity, but I guess we don't know how long it takes to get there. Um,
Yeah, probably not that long though. You're right. Um, well, anything else about these before we talk about a
we
friend in need?
we didn't discuss Dooku versus Anakin here. They have a little fight.
You're right. You're right.
Not
And
super dramatic because Anakin kind of gets whooped immediately, but it's kind of cool. He uses the whip.
I definitely like seeing Dooku utilize his like classic defensive stance against a different kind of weapon than a lightsaber. That was cool.
Yeah, just so effortless with it. Also, I did kind of like him being like, "Yeah, I'm here to execute you guys. Like, I'll do it personally myself." And then him giving the little goodbye message to Obi-Wan. I thought that was sweet. How nice.
I do love that he like hates Obi-Wan.
He calls him. He says, "My friend," as he's saying goodbye. How could he hate him? At their core, they love each other.
Well,
I
they
ship
used
it.
to be.
I ship it. Sorry.
I mean, I think yeah, they honestly if Obi-Wan had just listened to him on Geonosis when he was, captured in Attack of the Clones, uh I think they might have ended up together. But no, I think that's why Dooku hates him is because he does have like a soft spot for him, and that makes him angry that he still is feeling like, oh, I have a little bit of like memories and attachment to some of my old Jedi friends. That makes me weak, so I that makes me even more angry, and now I'm gonna take it out in the way of hating, or
Yeah,
making some kind of forced hatred. Um,
man, he's
because
such an interesting character.
he's the master. He's Qui Gon's master. Like he had a had a little bit of a relationship with Obi Wan.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, do we know like what age Obi-Wan was when Dooku left the Jedi Order?
I forget exactly, but I know he leaves like quite soon before Phantom Menace. Like it's not long, but no, I think it's actually during Phantom Menace that he leaves.
Hmm. I don't remember that. But again, Phantom Menace was more of it's probably the most blurred Star Wars movie for me of them all.
No, it's not in the movie. I mean, he's not in the
Oh,
movie at all. I think it was taking place like parallel to that.
gotcha. Yeah, man, I would just love to learn more about Dooku. I hope we get some Dooku backstory here. I feel like he probably also was a really good Jedi. I get the sense that he just like was so effective and efficient. So I'm curious how he spiraled into the separatist territory, like more fleshed out.
Um, I will say it'll be quite a while before we get there, but there is a really really good little episode about that.
In Clone Wars?
It's in Tales of the Jedi, which is essentially clone. I mean, it might as well be Clone Wars. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Same animation style, but like anthology arcs still, but more.
yes.
Gotcha.
It's just like a little 6 episode miniseries, I think, that has a
Okay.
different focus for each episode. But
There's also like
um,
Tales from the Underworld, isn't there? I feel like I saw that on
y-
Disney Plus one time.
yeah, that's the newest one. Um, they did Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire, and Tales of the Underworld.
Oh, nice. Are they going to do any more, or is that did they kind of hit all bases?
I don't know. I would love them to do Tales of the Jedi season 2 because those were the best ones, I think. But Underworld was cool too. Empire was not the best, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay, sorry.
Hey,
It's
Darth
one of
Maul
those
Shadow
things.
Lord comes out in a week.
Are you excited for it?
Yeah, I am.
Nice. That's good to
I
hear.
think it looks. I think it looks really cool.
Good to hear you're excited about like a new Star Wars project. This guy's always so pessimistic. He says, "Oh, Dave Filoni's taking over. Oh my God, I hate Dave Filoni. I can't believe what they're doing."
Hey, I'm a Filoni defender.
No, hey, look, it's funny to me to hear like, because in my head I'm like, that guy's all he like understands Star Wars really well. He's great, good storyteller. Then people being like, "Oh no, Dave Filoni's taking over Star Wars. We're so doomed." I'm like, what are you guys talking about? But I don't know what he does in
I
the future.
I mean, it's just insane to me as well because you look at internet comments like 2 3 years ago, everyone's going, Dave Filoni should be in charge of Star Wars. He's the only one who's been involved with it so long that blah blah blah, and he knows it well, and like blah blah blah. And then as soon as he got in charge of it, there came this massive wave of retroactive Dave Filoni hate. That's like he's just a fanboy. He's just that's why someone who isn't just like a fanboy should be in charge of it because he's just gonna focus on his little pet characters and go blah blah blah, and like it's like guys he's in charge of the whole thing. That just means he is going to kind of be picking who gets to do things. I don't think he's gonna like if somebody has a good idea for something he'll probably let them do it. Like
Yeah.
it's not like he's gonna be like, no, we can only tell stories about Bo-Katan, which who we met today.
Oh, Bo-Katan was in the episodes?
She didn't take her helmet off, but she was the woman Death Watch
Oh,
member.
really? Did they say
Yeah.
her name?
I don't think so, but it was in the credits. I wasn't gonna say anything, but they showed her name in the credits as
Okay.
Bo-Katan. So
Yeah, I did not watch the credits, so big spoiler. Thank you for that. Jeez. Gosh, your little blabbermouth just can't keep any spoilers in, huh? You want to tell me how Star Wars ends, dude? You want to tell me what happens to Chewbacca? How he dies? No, I don't think I feel like they would never kill Chewbacca.
they do in some Legends books. That's like a big
They kill him?
that already happened back in like 2004 or something in one of the New Republic novels.
Chewbacca dies?
Yep.
It's got even I don't like Chewbacca. That's kind of dark. Like, I don't know, it feels like not a character to just kill off like that.
Yeah, they were kind of going all edgy for a while there.
I guess just like a character that we can't hear them really articulate themselves or like killing them seems pointless to me, like within a story. But I don't know. I don't know.
It makes all it really does is make Han Solo be a bad father for like the next couple of books. Because I don't even know all the specifics of it, but one of his kids is not actually responsible for Chewbacca's death, but it's this thing of like, oh, if I had done this thing different, then Chewbacca wouldn't have died.
You killed Chewie.
And Han is like, yeah, I guess blames him for killing Chewbacca, which is super immature and annoying. But
Do they? I'm so curious. But do like they return him to Kashyyyk? Is there a little funeral they do for him, or does someone?
I don't know.
kill
I
that bad
haven't
boy?
read that stuff.
God,
I haven't read it. I've just read things that reference it a little bit, but I don't know.
Interesting. They should canonize that.
Yeah. So we have one episode about there is supposed to be some kind of treaty being or some negotiation talks between the Separatists and the Republic taking place on Mandalore for some reason. Because Mandalore's neutral. Yeah, well, also there seems to be like a ton of violence there every time Jedi show up, so maybe let's not do it there. But
Hey, we got Satine though. We got to see Satine today. That's nice.
yeah, that's nice. So Lux Bontari's back. Mina Bontari's son, Ahsoka's little boyfriend. Her little MAGA boyfriend.
What's your first kiss in these episodes, by the way? Ooh. No, wait. Did they kiss the other one?
Which was actually I don't remember.
I can't remember either,
But
but I think it
I
was yeah.
that moment was so dumb because it's like that thing that you see in a million movies where they're like, "Oh, let's kiss. We're being watched, so let's kiss." So they think we're just like a couple kissing, but in that situation, they could have just like stopped talking and
Yeah.
stood there. Like it didn't really matter.
True. Yeah, I also think Ahsoka, like, when they get surrounded by Death Watch and like she has to not reveal that she's a Jedi, her being like, "I'm his betrothed," is like crazy. What? Why did you pick that? I know why. She had a little crush. She wanted to do a little role
Hmm.
play. But I'm like, that was. I feel
Hmm.
like that was not the smartest move. I don't know.
Yeah, you could just say you're like his assistant or something.
Yeah. Or you could say,
Um,
"I'm a Jedi," and then you kill them all right there. Take down Death. She
yeah.
decapitates them. Half those guys later anyway.
Yeah, but that's when they're about to execute her.
True. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so pretty much it's just that Lux wants to get revenge on Dooku for killing his mom, and Death Watch also wants to get revenge on Dooku because he totally fucked them over after promising that he would back them to, essentially overthrow the Mandalorian government, and then he doesn't do that. Um, so Pre Vizsla's obviously pissed at Dooku as well. So they want to get back at him, and Ahsoka's like, "Oh, you can't trust Death Watch. They're as soon as they get the info, they'll kill you." Um,
Yeah, they're terrorists named Death Watch, brother. Come on.
yeah. Uh, they do burn down a village for some reason.
Again, very dark. The reason was literally like, I guess they'd been like taking the women to make them also slaves for
Mm-hmm.
their camp or whatever. And once like the village leader comes and he's like, "Hey, can you return our people?" Vizsla takes that as like such an insult that he's like, "Well, the weak can't tell us what to do. You can never let the weak dictate their will to you. So now we have to do this." It's like, bro,
Yeah,
crazy ideology.
I know. I'm like, are they trying to? I don't know what who knows what their long term plans for that planet were. Karlak, I think it was called, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're man, they do this a lot. But so there's this the village chieftain is his granddaughter Tryla is like the main girl that like talks to Ahsoka a little bit and gets fucking dark sabered in the back. Um,
Brutal.
yeah, but she literally says to Ahsoka like, "We are simple people, quick to trust."
Yeah.
I was like, "Come on,
It is so bad
come
every time.
on." That in particular is like you're just fucking saying it out loud, like the absolute like native stereotype, like
Yeah.
just
We are but dumb natives who didn't know that a foreigner could even have ulterior motives. We gave and trusted everything. It's like, come on.
I know it's like you, even if it's true that your people trusted them and then got backstabbed, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But just the way that they say, she literally says, "We are a simple people."
Yeah.
Like, come on now. And
I'm a
they're all
simple.
like,
Why? Why do you say that? Why do you think you're simple?
"Well, we have dots on our faces, and our buildings are vaguely Asian.
Yeah.
So we're
Kind
not
of the
like,
community vibe we have, not less individualism. So that's like pretty savage.
yeah, exactly." It's like it was almost like a Tibetan Malaysian type of vibe in their architecture, I feel like.
Yeah.
Um yeah, I this one is kind of self-contained and doesn't really have like big ramifications. Uh
Pretty cool episode still though.
yeah, I just think it's fun action, entertaining story. I like honestly this for Ahsoka. Her, I mean, we've kind of already seen her at this point now. She's not just like all the separatists are all evil and the Republic is the good guys. She was like that, but she's already kind of gotten smarter than that now. And so now we get to see her interact with him again after she's already had those revelations, and it just becomes a little more nuanced. And he's like, I'm not a separatist, but I can't go to the Republic. And she's like, well, what other option do you have then? And so she's still, yeah,
When he tasers her.
yeah, bro, not chill. He just tells R2D2 that she's sleepy.
I was wondering, I was like, come on, R2D2 needs some better defense protocol here. I know he can incinerate this kid if he really wants to.
Well, we see him handle himself against some Mandalorians. So
Yeah, true.
uh,
He has a bit of a funny plot that I liked in this episode too, where he
yeah,
just because like Death Watch, I guess, is just using droids they find or capture as like target practice. And then I was like, that's pretty dumb. I feel like they're wasting material. But then they send R2D2. They're like, hey, go fix all the droids we shot up so we can shoot them up again. And R2D2 stages a little droid rebellion, which is awesome.
yeah, I like that part of it too. Kind of like a weird little horror movie moment for us. Whoop, sorry, hang on. Let me actually
Sorry.
refresh the page.
I think I cut out for a moment.
Oh no, I won't refresh because that might mess it up. But I think we're good now. What
Okay, nice.
the last thing I heard you say was that was a fun little plot of R2 leading the droid rebellion.
Oh, did you hear me like explain the plot, or do I have to say all that again?
No. I got that.
Just trying to make it, to the viewer the
I was
best
just saying.
experience. Oh no, we're so
No,
delayed.
I think even when stuff cuts out for our live feed, I think it will still fix it in the individual tracks.
Yeah. I think it may be. I don't know if it's my internet or if it's yours. Your picture's coming in a little blurry sometimes, but that could just be my receiving it.
Yeah, yours is kind of doing the same thing, so I don't know. But I was just saying I did like the horror movie moment where they come when R2 is put in that little tent with all the broken droids, and they're like, please repair us, repair us, and then they start like crawling on the ground, repair us. It's like freaking Toy Story in Sid's bedroom when all the.
That's exactly what it reminded me of. I was going to say the same thing.
Really?
Yeah, R2D2 had a fun little moment here.
I think this is like a good use of, if R2 and C3PO are going to be in episodes, please make theirs be like the D plot of the episode that we get like 90 seconds of screen time towards, because it's still fun. I still like it, but I don't need to see 22 minutes of that,
Yeah. And he gets his big hero moment coming to the rescue there at the end, so all tied together and works.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's also similar to what we were talking about with Grievous not picking up on Jar Jar being like, Misa, when the Mandalorians don't pick up on Ahsoka being like, I'm his lover, betrothed, and then he's like, yeah, that's right, my betrothed, and they're like, okay, well, and R2 rolls up and like holds the lightsabers out, and she's like, no, not right now. And they just no reaction to any of that.
True, yeah. You think someone would be like, what? Huh? Hey, I would love if just one of these moments they do something like that, just like a little bit of hyper-realism in the reactions. Because I think it'd be fun, like to set the spark off of something just one time when it won't detract from whatever plot they want to do.
I agree. That would be funny.
And Ahsoka also, I guess we've learned she's just like a terrible actor, or going espionage mode for her is not really great. Even with the slave situation, when they had her pose as a slave, the second she revealed herself, she was like, "No, I am not to be your slave." Like, very Anakin, people like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. I know. Yeah, she was really putting on a show. She's not a good actor.
And yet she comes from a planet we learned that focused not on war, not on science or anything, but on art and beauty.
Yeah. The Togruthans are kind of interesting.
Yeah, I would like to.
Um,
I would like. I want to learn more about that. You guys have no like planetary defense at all. Also, no one's ever tried to come conquer you.
yeah, I guess not. I guess they just stayed out of it. But that was
Yeah,
what was cool, is because we've seen a ton of planets at this point that are like that. Oh, we're peaceful and we stay out of it until it comes to us. This one, it almost felt like they were showing us that trope again, real quick. Of like, yes, 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 like you know that this happens in Clone Wars. This has happened a bunch. Okay, now let's actually explore like the aftermath of that in a
yeah.
deeper way than we normally do.
I would like to see the flip side of that because usually when we get a situation like this, it's like always the separatists coming in and causing like the reactiveness from the Republic. I would like to see the Republic maybe like go and try and be like, it'd be nice if we like recruited this planet for like, I don't know, space travel, planet paths reasons or whatever, and they do something that sort of like sparks a situation that gets the separatists involved, and then it becomes like, well, the Republic kind of messed up here. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, that would be cool. Um, I like so that's Bo-Katan, who is the last one left chasing Ahsoka and Lux back to the ship, and they have a nice little fight there where um, Lux Montari's driving the speeder, and Ahsoka and Bo-Katan are going at it on the back.
Yeah.
Ahsoka's like grabbing onto the side of it while her feet are scraping through the ground and stuff. Like some exciting action. I'm locked in for these episodes.
Yeah, she had honestly her highlights were like all vehicle moments. Like even in the first episodes we watched, she was like those droids that were on the bike. Which, by the way, I don't know if we've seen like biker droids before. That was kind of cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that was cool.
Like her like kicking them off, hopping on their bike, and then hopping back on her bike and stuff. It was just like so smooth and cool.
Yeah, she rocks. I'm I'm a big Ahsoka fan.
I find myself thinking that when I'm watching these episodes now. I just keep being like, man, Ahsoka's cool as hell. She's really grown as a character. It's been awesome to see.
I know, cause like she was just straight up annoying at first, and
Snips.
now she's really cool.
What did she call Anakin? What was her nickname from?
Sky guy.
Sky Guy, yeah. Snips and Sky Guy.
Um. Well, any other thoughts?
um, no.
All right. Well, um, we've got a real fun one next time. Um,
Is it an
I
arc
think
or just a bunch of it?
so for the rest of the season, I believe we just have two more four-part. Yeah, yep, two more four-part arcs. Um, so I think we'll watch one of them for next time, and then one of them for the time after that. Do another 4 and 4, and then we'll be done with season 4 after that. Um, but yeah, the next I don't know what the name of the arc would be. Let's see if they have a name. Um, so essentially, it's a 4-part arc about Obi-Wan going undercover to try to figure out an assassination plot against Palpatine, and it rocks.
Nice. I wonder who's out for Palpatine. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Someone who maybe knows about his double side, or someone who just is like, nah, I want to take down the Republic and doesn't know that Palpatine's a bit more than the Republic.
hey, we'll have to find out. We will have to find out.
By the way, I would also like to throw this into your mind just to think about. I think it'd be cool in a future episode, since we've gone through so much Clone Wars stuff, to just kind of take a look back and see, like, because I don't know if there is anything like Clone Wars toys or Clone Wars video, or not video games, Clone Wars like board games or anything that came out like that. I don't know if there's much. I'm sure there's a lot of toys, but I'm just kind of curious, like, what they're marketing right now.
Yeah, a lot of toys. I definitely around season 3 was buying a lot of action figures. Or I have, I definitely have Pre Vizsla and the Dark Saber. I
Nice.
know I have a Grievous one. I think I have a Commander Gree. uh,
Man,
and
I
like
would
a
love a Grievous
Droidica.
figure. Grievous figure would be so cool now, even.
I know. I want like a Revenge of the Sith Grievous figure. I think that would be fucking sick.
Oh, with the cape.
Mm-hmm. I just want more Black Series figures in general. They're really, really good little line of toys.
Nice.
I only have one,
Nice.
but I do love
Lukey.
this one.
Yeah, that is cool. How many
I
points
think
of articulation does it have?
a lot.
Yay!
I mean, just all the joints you'd expect.
Man, there's such a cool like Iron Studios Luke and Leia statue that I'm like, man, I really want, but it's like 300 something bucks. But it's just so good. It's the promo art, I guess, from one of the posters where it's like Luke standing triumphantly, kind of his chest out, and Leia's like kind of around his leg.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of a funny, silly pose, but I just think it looks so cool. Looks so cool.
Oh yeah. I know. It's funny how in the early days they were trying to communicate like this super grandiose like you know, arc like strong men and sexy women like in the posters at least and even the first movie is not really like that but
And we start with like 20 minutes of the droids.
yep. um I think my first goal for toys is to just get Han, Luke, and Leia all in their Hoth outfits.
Yeah, Hoth stuff would be like where I'd go to. Just like such a sick environment. They look so good. Leia, like my favorite Leia outfit that I've seen her in so far is her Hoth outfit. I think she
Yeah,
looks so good in that one.
me too. Her little jacket is awesome,
I thought
and
you
I
told me
think
Slave Leia you like best. I thought you said you like that one best.
yeah, yeah. Don't put that on me.
Hey,
Um,
Gleeble.
no, I love Han Solo's big like dark blue coat as well.
Yeah. And Luke obviously looks great too, as we know.
I want Luke. I know they have one too of Dagobah Luke in the tank top with Yoda on his back. I would like that too.
Ooh, hopefully it comes with a little Yoda.
I think there's one that does. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I was gonna say it's on the back as like an attachment, or it just is there.
I wonder. I think it's like just its own figure, but you can attach it to his back somehow.
Does Star Wars ever do like? 'Cause I don't know which Marvel line does it, where it's like the build of figures, where you get like one piece
Mm-hmm.
of something and you can make like a bigger. Is there like a droid thing, or like you make an ATSC or something?
Maybe. Not that I can think of off the top of my head, but I wouldn't be surprised if they had tried something like that at some point. But I can't remember. Yeah, I don't know.
Would be pretty cool.
Would be cool. All right. Well, bit of a short one today, but that's okay. We didn't have. I guess not. I didn't have a crazy amount to say about these other than just that I enjoyed them. Um, but
We didn't veer off
yeah,
topic too much today either. I feel like that usually takes up like a good 30, 40 minutes.
that's true. That's true. Also, just feeling very tired, so maybe that's why. But um, we'll be back soon.